All right, let's jump right in. There's been a pretty surprising announcement coming out of Davos that has everyone talking, a new Trump-led Board of Peace, and it's already been signed by 19 nations. So what exactly is this thing, and could it really be an attempt to shake up the entire global order? Let's unpack it. So the central question, the one that diplomats and analysts are buzzing about, is actually pretty simple. Is this a genuine effort to work alongside the United Nations, or is it a direct challenge? Is he building a rival? The answer, well, it could change everything.
You know, Donald Trump himself really set the tone for this whole thing at the World Economic Forum with this one line, calling the entire world a single region. He's signaling a massive ambition. This isn't just about one little committee for one little conflict. This sounds like a whole new way of doing global politics.
So, is this a parallel UN? Is it a rival? Or is it a partner? Let's dig into the two competing ways people are interpreting this. Okay, so on paper, the official language sounds pretty cooperative. Trump says the board is going to work in conjunction with the UN. But, you know, a lot of analysts just aren't buying it. They see this as the creation of a parallel United Nations, basically a body designed to go around the established powers like the UN Security Council and just play by its own set of rules.
So who actually signed up for this thing? I mean, if you look at the list of the first 19 countries that signed on, well, it tells a really interesting story. A story of convenience, maybe necessity, and definitely some strategic alliances.
Yeah, this initial group is a curious coalition, to say the least. You've got Middle Eastern monarchies who are obviously looking for a direct line to American power. You have other nations who really need Trump's backing to keep their own power at home. And then, and this is a big one, you have Belarus, led by a man often called Europe's last dictator. See, this isn't really an alliance based on shared values. It's an alliance of mutual benefit.
Okay, but what's just as telling as who signed is who didn't. The cautious, maybe even quiet, response from the world's major powers? It's impossible to ignore. It's almost deafening.
The European Union, the UK, China, India, they're all holding back, just kind of watching from the sidelines. Canada is even digging into the financial side of things. The takeaway here is pretty clear. This is a long, long way from being a global consensus. It's a small and very specific club. And then you have Russia, which is playing a really fascinating game here. They haven't officially signed on, but their very close ally, Belarus, is there. And that's widely seen as a clear nod of approval. It's like a proxy endorsement that lets them support the whole thing without leaving any fingerprints. So while some of the big players are offering that quiet support, others have jumped in with both feet, and it's igniting a political firestorm back home. And that brings us to one of the most controversial signatories of them all, Pakistan. Okay, so here's the issue in Pakistan. The Prime Minister signed the charter as an executive decision, completely bypassing Parliament. Now, this is a huge problem because in most democracies, Pakistan included, international treaties need to be ratified. That means they need formal approval from the legislature. Without that, the whole agreement is on really shaky legal ground. It looks less like a national commitment and more like a personal promise.
And then, right around the time all this signing was happening, Trump drops this really cryptic comment. He mentions getting assurances from some non-Middle Eastern countries about disarming Hamas. And of course, the big question was, who on earth is he talking about?
Well, since Pakistan was the most prominent non-Middle Eastern nation to sign, all eyes immediately turned to them. The implication was pretty hard to avoid, that their signature probably came with some strings attached, hinting at some big future commitments in the region.
And this gets to the critical question, right? What did Pakistan actually agree to? Was it just a nice seat at a new diplomatic table? Or was it a quiet commitment to join some kind of future international stabilization force? The fact that we don't know is, well, it's pretty concerning. So, what's the board's true purpose? Is this a genuine power play to reshape the world, or is it all just political theater? When you boil it all down, there are really two competing theories. So, theory number one is that this is a genuine attempt to create a faster, more effective diplomatic tool, one that can actually succeed where the UN is sometimes stalled. But then there's theory number two, that this is all just political theater, that it's a way for Donald Trump to project power, build alliances on his own terms, and push his personal brand of foreign policy. And this quote, I think, just perfectly captures the whole dilemma. Is this a new chapter in diplomacy? Or is it, as some are worried, a bull in a china shop? The entire world is watching, trying to figure out if this new board is going to build a more peaceful world, or maybe shatter the one we already have.